Hello guys, and welcome to the Into Truth channel. And I think today I want to discuss this problem of the debate between atheism and Christianity, or belief in a God. I don't think there is a debate to be had, really. If we're going to go around the idea of we need to have a scientific discussion, great. What is science? Science is the ability to prove something, right? Science is the ability to do an experiment and do it over and over and over, get the same results. And based on those results, we say it's been proven scientifically. But what if we cannot prove something? How do you prove the beginning of the universe? We have an hypothesis, we've got a theory, we say there is a Big Bang, and then we say there are certain things around the Big Bang that make it plausible that that's a good enough theory, like background radiation and things like that. But then we need to add stuff in that we have no proof for. Once again, nobody's seen it, nobody's actually measured it, nobody can do experiments to do it over and over to show that it exists. And that would be things like dark matter. That would be things like dark energy. It would be things like the Kuiper Belt. Nobody's seen it. We don't have any proof of its existence, but it is placed in the theory in order to make it relevant. But then the same goes for the creationist worldview. To prove that there is a creation exists, there is no tangible experimental proof that we can do to repeatedly do it over and over to show that this creation was made by God. The other argument I hear a lot from my atheist friends is, you cannot prove that God exists. This is true. I cannot prove to anyone that God exists. How do I prove it scientifically? You cannot. It's an impossibility. It's just like we cannot prove love scientifically. It's an emotion that some say is a chemical reaction. It still doesn't explain love and its existence and our experience of it. But then on the other hand, I can say to my atheist friend the same thing. Well, prove to me that God does not exist. The same applies here. You cannot prove the non-existence of God. Therefore, I think the debate is kind of it's kind of a pointless debate, because neither side, neither party can prove whether God exists or not. And if we cannot prove on either side that God exists, what are we arguing about? We're arguing about something that nobody will be able to say conclusively, see, I win this argument. It will never be a debate that can be won. Unless, of course, we get to the end of the world and Christ returns to this planet, then we will see, okay, this is right. And at the other side of this coin, if you die, I die, and we either don't know anything, then we're not going to know whether it was true or not, so it's pointless. On the other side, if it was true, kind of a bummer for my atheist friends, I'm sorry to say, but if Christianity and our faith in Christ is true, I'm going to err on the side of hope, I'd say, because I'm sorry, there's a life, an atheist life does not provide hope for me in death. The fact that I'm going to die and that's the end, that's kind of a bummer as well. And none of these things are provable entities that we can say, yeah, I'm basing everything on that because there's the solid proof. It's a scientific fact. It's not a scientific fact. So yes, on both of our sides, we have to revert to the point where we have to say, I believe it. It's a faith issue at the end of the day, whether you're going to choose to believe in Christianity or the Bible, or whether you're going to choose to believe that God does not exist and therefore you're going to be an atheist. Those are the two I mean, you can also choose to be agnostic, and that's just to say, I don't know if God exists, but I'll wait and see if he does. If that gives you peace, go for it. To me, I have a life experience, and whether this is a chemical reaction in my brain that caused this, or it's a psychological anomaly that's caused it, is irrespective, because a bit of my own testimony, I was using drugs. I was not a very righteous person, if I can call it that. I was a real shit to start off with. And you know what? My life changed the day that I came to Christ. And I didn't come to Christ with this long-winded whole story. I came to Christ as a dare. When I stood in the church that my parents begged me to go to, and the pastor stood in front and said, listen, give Christ a chance. What have you got to lose? Give him a chance. If he appears and he does something in your life, great, you've gained something. If nothing happens, return to your life and do what you want. So it was kind of a dare, and I fully accepted that dare. And my conversion was, well, Jesus, if you are real, then come into my heart. I give you my heart. Come and change it if you want to. And let's see what happens. And you know what? God was faithful. He came in. He changed my heart radically. He changed my life completely. I went from one to the other. So there you have it. That is my take on the whole Christian atheist debate. I don't think there's a debate in that in any case for any of us to find any kind of solution. We'll carry on with this discussion later. Have a nice day.